Hello everyone and welcome to DC Central. In today's video we're going to be going over and reporting on the news that all of our favourite Arrowverse DC TV shows on the CW have all been renewed for their next season. So let's discuss. So yes, wonderful news for all of us DC TV Arrowverse fans. All of our favourite shows being Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow have all been renewed for their next season. So this is a very early renewal for all the shows. I don't know if the shows have ever been renewed this early before, but it's really awesome just to see, you know, and have that guarantee that we're going to be getting in next season for all of the shows. And it basically just gives us that nice little safety net. It gives the writers the freedom to, you know, set up things for the next season. They can put little cliffhangers in, they can put little story threads, and, you know, that they can lead on to the next season. So that is all well and good. And it's just really exciting at this point, you know, still relatively early on into the seasons, even though we're now past the mid-season mark, at least for Supergirl, Flash and Arrow, that it's really nice just to have that, you know, have that announcement there this early on. It's incredible. Like last year, I don't think we got this announcement until like around March, April time, if I remember correctly. So to get it now in, you know, this was in January, February as of recording this video, but January last night, getting this announcement, it's just so early, but so great at the same time. So in regards to Supergirl, I really didn't have any sort of questions or any doubts about this. I really felt that Supergirl was going to be safe. Supergirl is very popular. It's one of the biggest shows on the CW. It's, you know, a very consistent show for the most part. There are a couple of dips here and there in the ratings, but for the most part it does very consistently well. So in terms of Supergirl, it is getting a season 5. Now this is important because season 5 of Supergirl will include its 100th episode, and obviously we can take a look back at what the CW and the Arrowverse has done for their 100 episodes before. Like Arrow had its 100th episode in season 5, The Flash this season has had its 100th episode, so Supergirl is going to be having its 100th episode in season 5, so that's really cool. Obviously, we know they'll do something really special about that. Also, they've already been talking about characters such as Winn, who was meant to come back this season in Season 4, is now no longer coming back this season, but they did say that they could do it next season, but now they actually officially can make those plans and book Jeremy Jordan, because now they have the guarantee of a Season 5. So Supergirl, I really had no doubts about, and this was just further confirmation. So Arrow is officially getting a Season 8. This is fantastic news. Arrow I was pretty sure on as well. I think if you would have asked me this a few months ago, I would have been a bit unsure, especially because of some of the comments made by some of the cast and crew. Even Stephen Amell telling the writers to write the show as if it's the last season, as there's no guarantee that there will be another. But yes, we are getting Season 8, so this is great. Ever since the season began, really, my kind of predictions for Season 8 of, you know, in terms of its likelihood, they went significantly up. Like the ratings have been very strong for Arrow this season, which has been really nice to see, as Season 6 was not great when it came to ratings for Arrow, so it's really nice to see Season 7 just regain that ground. And just getting a Season 8, this is such exciting news. Obviously, for me in particular, Arrow is my favourite TV show of all time. Arrow is something that means a lot to me, so to get the official Season 8 announcement is awesome news. I'm so happy about it. In regards to what they're going to do in Season 8, I honestly don't know. It's difficult to look at because Season 7 is so unpredictable at the moment. I cannot predict a single thing that's going to happen for the rest of Season 7, never mind Season 8. So, you know, I'm not going to make any bold claims, but I'm just happy. Obviously, again, just from a pure personal standpoint, this is my favorite show of all time, so the fact it's getting another season, of course I'm going to take it, and of course I'm going to be excited about it. And The Flash is getting a Season 6. This was probably the most obvious one. The Flash is the biggest show on the CW, so I really don't have much to say about The Flash because it's literally, like I say, it's the biggest show on the CW. It does perfectly well with its ratings, so a Season 6 of The Flash was completely inevitable. The only thing I will say is in the most recent episode of The Flash, we did get a tease for the character known as the Red Death, and normally when one of these shows, you know, name drops a villain that we haven't seen before, it means that they're going to be the big bad for the next season. So, you know, for Season 6, we could be seeing the Red Death as the villain, so that could be happening. Like, if you remember back in Season 3 when they name dropped DeVoe, and then he was the main villain for Season 4. In Arrow Season 3, they name dropped Damien Dark, and he was the main villain for Season 4 of Arrow. So they've done this before, and again, this now gives them the guarantee and the green light to go and start planning things. If they are going to use the Red Death for Season 6 as the big bad, then they have that go ahead, that green light to go and start developing that story. And finally, Legends of Tomorrow is also getting a Season 5. This was the most surprising one for me and the most interesting one, because I've been saying for a while that I've had a very strong suspicion that Legends of Tomorrow was going to get cancelled by the end of the season, that Season 4 was going to be the final season, but it's managed to scrape through and it is getting a Season 5. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the episode count get significantly reduced for Season 5, that'll be my only thing, because the ratings for Season 4 have been pretty poor so far, which is a real shame, because, you know, I think Legends as a show, even though I've not been the most positive on Season 4, I still feel like the show has the potential to really just be this awesome show, especially because Season 2 and Season 3 I love so much, so it was, you know, nice just to see this show get another season. Will Season 5 be the final season? I think it's likely if the ratings don't change, but Legends as a show is something in terms of its story and in terms of its episodes is something that can just keep going, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see this continue in the way it's going. But I'm just really happy to see this, just because, again, I was worried for Legends. I really was. I was worried for it. I didn't think it was going to make it to Season 5, but it is, so that's going to be really awesome. They've also just wrapped filming for Season 4, just in case you don't know. So Season 4 is done. It's finished. It's done. We're just waiting until, obviously, we have to wait until April until the show actually returns to our screens, but they have wrapped filming. And the way the actors were talking about it, the way they were posting on Instagram about it, I thought to myself, this seems like they are saying goodbye, and maybe they were prepping for that, but, you know, at this point now, they are getting a Season 5, so that's really nice, and it's just nice to see Legends come through, because like I said, I really didn't think it would, but what's also important to note as well is, obviously, we already know at the end of this year, and for this upcoming season, we are getting the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. That is the next crossover they're doing, and I have a feeling that the Legends are going to want to be a part of that. Obviously, Legends weren't involved in Elseworlds this year, but I feel like they are going to want to be involved in the Elseworlds, or in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, just because of some of the characters they have on there. In the comics, Constantine is actually quite a big part of it, and if Constantine sticks around for Season 5, then obviously he'll be there, and we'll also see other characters, obviously, like Rey and Sarah. They'll want to be a part of it, so, you know, I feel like the Legends are just going to have to be there in order to be a part of the Crisis crossover. So, again, I think that might have been a big deciding point as for the CW to continue, especially because Legends is a very expensive show for very low returns, so I feel like, you know, Legends is just about getting by, but I wouldn't be surprised if Season 5 is the final season. Although saying that, we'll be having this conversation, making this exact same video this time next year when it gets an announcement for Season 6. But anyway, I'm very happy for Legends. I'm just, you know, it surprised me, but I'm glad. So thank you guys for tuning into DC Central. If you enjoyed this video and you'll see more DC content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. And I hope to see you guys again next time.